Okay, this is my last constructed L5R deck that I'm going to make a deck tech video for because it's the last one that I have. I do have some loose cards. I do have some starter decks. I've got a couple of the Jade Edition. I've got this one from Dark Allies, this one from Heaven and Earth. Just starter decks that I have. A couple of the what is this? Wrath of the Emperor. And then I have 4 diamond. Got a Phoenix, a Scorpion, a Dragon, and a Mantis deck. So those are the starter decks that I have. I actually have more than that too in a box. Okay, I've got a couple of Fire and Shadow decks. 3 Fire and Shadow decks. Got them on eBay. Hidden Emperor deck. What do we got here? Emerald Edition. So I've got a Phoenix, got a Unicorn. A couple of these I bought on eBay. A couple of them I already had. Crab Clan. And these are the decks that I prefer. The old backs. I like these much better. And a Dragon Clan. So those are the starter decks that I have. I just keep them in a box here. Not sure what box I'm going to put those other starter decks in. They're just kind of loose right now. And I don't think there's any point in making a deck tech for a starter deck, but I do have some loose cards. I showed them I showed like the box, how many there are in another video, another one of my L5R videos. So I might go through some of them, maybe sort through them and see some that people might want to see, might be interested in buying possibly. I'm not looking necessarily to sell, but I might. It just depends. But what I do want to say first up front is that I'm in Chicago, and I am looking for people who would like to play L5R, my place or yours. I have 3 friends that I play Wyvern with. It's been over a month since we've gotten together. We're hoping to get together soon. Just played with my friend the other night, and we made a video of us playing our games. We played to 100 points, and it's a very long video, but if you'd like to watch it, it's the last video I just made. If you want to see how Wyvern plays, if you're not familiar with it, it's an old game that came out right after Magic did. It flew for about a year or 2 and died a quick death for various reasons. But it's a very good game. It's a lot of fun to play. It's very easy to learn, and I think you'd enjoy it. I'm trying to set up a 4-player tournament using starter decks. This is a starter box that I bought on eBay, and we're hoping to get. We're gonna each open up 3 decks and make 1 deck from those 3 decks and have our own little mini tournament. I'm hoping to do that. We'll see if I can work it out. But if any of you would like to. If you're in Chicago or near and would like to play L5R, I don't know if my friends will be interested or not. It's possible. We just haven't gotten together. My one friend said he's interested in at least taking a look at it. The one that I just played Wyvern with. So that's a possibility. But if you've got some people who play in Chicago, let me know. I'd love to come and get involved in playing again. I prefer the old back cards. I have plenty of cards with the newer backs, and I'll play if that's all you're using. I don't know how things are played today. I know there's probably like a variety of old school and new school and all that. I've seen the changes that went to the game. I saw there was a tournament on YouTube where they're using lots of fate tokens, and it was very confusing to watch that game. But I'm sure it was a good game. I don't know. I don't know too much about it. Anyway, this is my Dueling Phoenix deck. My other 2 Phoenix decks, one was all spells. Almost the entire Fate deck was spells. The other one is an Honor deck that had several dueling cards in it, including Focus. Now, this deck doesn't have Focus, and I think that if I were going to play it, I would probably add Focus to the deck. It seems like that's I don't know if that's the number 1 dueling card you want to play, but I think so. So that's not in here. and I'm torn about the house. I can use this house, but I can also use this house. This is the one, this is my honor deck that I showed you a while ago. So I don't know if it matters which house I use. This house can generate 5 gold to pay for a Shigenja or a spell. It can do it for 7 gold, but you can't gain honor when you do it this way. And I want to win with an honor victory, so I probably wouldn't do that unless it was like a turn 1 and I could bring in something that cost 7 and it was totally worth it to do it. There might be a reason. But I don't think I've ever used that ability where you pay 7 gold. Maybe I did and I just don't remember. But anyway, I like the Phoenix Clan. So let's just go over this. We'll just go through it and I'll do the best I can showing it. So Nakakuru is the first one I'm going to show you. It's basically the, well, there's one other card that's probably more powerful, technically speaking. Not really. Head to head, Nakakuru wins. A 4/6 for 12 is expensive, but he has double chi, so he's a great card to have in your dueling deck for obvious reasons. When he performs a Keyhole, you could draw an additional card your next end phase, so that's a great ability too. And he doesn't need to bow to produce a Keyhole effect. He can only do that once per turn. So Nakakuru is cool. This is the experienced version. Very expensive at 12. You need 10 honor. You're not going to get him in anytime soon. The rest are, I think, in alphabetical order. So we have Ageisha, Ganai, or Janai. I'll try my best to pronounce them. If I get them wrong and you want to try to correct me, feel free. I'm always I would always prefer to pronounce the names correctly. It's not a big deal, but I would rather pronounce them correctly. So Ageisha Janai is a 2/3 for 6. Interesting that he has 2 force. I would have expected it to be a 1/3. His ability is really good. You can, as an open action, you bow to draw 2 cards and then discard 2 cards. You're not going to often want to discard those cards, but better to have 2 extra cards and then have to discard. It's just really good card quality. So he's a really good card to have in your Phoenix deck. Then we have a Geisha Kusabi, who's a Spirit Walker Shigenja. So now, yeah, 1/3 for 5. That's what I expect. And he won't join the Dragon Clan. What was this one about, Dragon? He will not join the Dragon Clan either. Okay. So he's just in here because he can gain me 2 honor, and he's a cheap personality that I can get in on turn 1. Then we have Asaku Hoshiguro. I don't know why this is a 2/2 for 3. I would have expected this to be a 1/2 or even a 0/2 for 3. I'm a little surprised by it. Battle. Bow and destroy. And by the way, let me finish this card, then I'll say what I was going to say. Bow and destroy Hoshiguro to produce ranged 1 attacks, targeting every opposing personality and follower in this battle, including personalities with attached followers. The strength of these ranged attacks cannot be increased. That seems really, really powerful. I'm very surprised that this is a 2/2 for 3. I don't get it. Maybe I'm wrong, and it's not all that powerful, but it seems really powerful. I mean, if I just take out 2 cards with it, it seems like a great ability. Anyway, what I wanted to say is I haven't played this game in at least 20, maybe 25 years. I played for maybe 2 or 3 years total, casually, mostly in our basement. And I played in 1 or 2 Gen Con tournaments, did not do well. I think I was only in 1. And I played at some starter deck tournaments, and those were a lot of fun. And I did fine in those. They're okay to play. Very enjoyable. Also, I know about Sun and Moon. I'm considering trying to play L5R online, but I'd prefer to play on a table with real cards, with people around the table. So that's my preference, but I'll consider, I might look into it. If anyone in Chicago plays on Sun and Moon, then maybe you can walk me through it at some point. We'll see. I'm open to different options. So Asaku Ishio a 1/1 for 3. Now that's what I expect for something that only costs 3. I don't expect it to be much. While he is unbowed, cards in his army are immune to fear. That's good. And this is a drummer, so that's neat. He bangs the drums. Battle. Bow Ishio to send one opposing Shadowlands personality home from the battle without bowing. So great if you run into the Shadowlands. He's just here for the cheap and the easy 2 honor to add. Just another cheap personality. Obviously, he's not here for dueling. Asako Togama, a 0/2 for 5. A scribe. He may not bow to produce spell effects. That makes sense. He's a scribe. Limited. Bow to retrieve a spell from any player's discard pile and attach it to Togama. Costs must be paid normally. Togama may not retrieve any spell card more than once. Okay, I'm confused. He can't bow to produce spell effects, so what does it matter if I can go get a spell and attach it to him? Is there a way to then give it to someone else? Because I'm not sure. So that confuses me. But otherwise, it sounds like a really good ability. All right, then we have Isawa Osuji, a 1/4 for 8. 8 is expensive. 4 chi is really good, though, and the 4 personal honor. If I can get this in for full price, I get 4 honor for bringing her in. And she can attach a spell for free. She can only attach 1, but she can attach it for free. Well, there's only 1 spell in this deck. Maybe I should have more. I have 1 copy. So that might be a mistake on my part. I'm open to all suggestions, but I like this card a lot. This is probably my favorite Phoenix Clan personality in the game. Isawa Suki is just an incredible card. A 3/2 for 12 is very expensive, but it's a Shigenja. So again, I'm actually surprised that he has a 3 force. I would have thought that might even be lower too. But he is unique, so you can only have 1 copy. Limited Elemental. Bow and play a fate card face down. Issue a challenge that cannot be refused. Isawa cannot focus, so that sounds bad because he's only got a 2 chi. But the fate card played acts as a focus. Suki cannot be killed by the outcome of this duel. So I can't die. I'm going to discard a card, but that's the focus. Then my opponent's going to focus, and then I'm going to strike. And if I win, great. And if I lose, so what? I've lost a card, but they had to focus too. So this card is nuts. My opponent, my most common opponent that I played when we were playing this game, played Dragon Clan, and he hated this card. He just hated it. He kept... he was not pleased with his Dragon Clan personalities. He said, why can't I get a Dragon Clan that's as powerful, a personality that's as powerful as this guy? So it frustrated him a lot, and I eventually stopped playing it because it seemed a little unfair. At some point, it started to feel that way. Anyway, now we've got Isawa Uona here, and we've got a couple versions. So here's the first one, which is a 0/3 for 4. And Open Elemental. This is the Master of Air. I love all the Masters of Air, Earth, Fire. It's very cool. Bow him and discard a fate card with a focus value of X. Look at X face down cards. I don't know if I ever used that ability. Don't know if it's even worth it, but he only costs 4, and you get 2 honor, and he has a 3 chi. So he's good in that sense. So 3 copies. Now we have the 2 unique versions. This is the experienced version of Isawa Uona. Bow Uona to bow any Shadowlands card. So that completely changed the ability. It went from a 0/3 to a 1/3. You only need 0 honor to bring her in now, and the gold cost went up 1. So interesting changes to it. And then we have the experienced 2 version of Isawa Uona. And so now you're let's just do the comparison. So now you're a 2/4 for 6. And again, of course, unique. Bow, look at another player's fate hand and face down cards in his provinces. This action does not bow Uona, but may only be performed twice per game. So nothing overly powerful, I don't think. But the 4 chi is the number 1 reason it's in the deck. All right, we've got a Shadowlands personality, but it's also a Phoenix Clan captive Oni. Okay. Non-human. All right. All Phoenix Shigenja in play have a +1 chi while the Captive Oni is in play. That's great. If the Captive Oni is destroyed, all Phoenix Shigenja lose an additional 1 chi until the end of the current turn. Okay, that's potentially bad, but it's only till the end of the turn, and the +1 chi is great. So it's totally worth it. All right. Okay, now we have the nameless one. It looks Shadowlands, but it's not. So he's 0-3 for 7 with a personal honor of 4. That's one of the reasons he's in this deck. Gains +2 chi when dueling a Shadowlands personality, and is a limited action. You can bow to challenge any Shadowlands personality to a duel, which cannot be refused. So that's a 5 chi. So that's really good. Really cool card. And was it unique? I can't see. I don't remember. It is unique. Yeah. The Captive Oni is not unique, but I only have one in the deck. All right. Shiba Shingo. So this is just a 1/3 samurai for 3. That's it. 2 honor, easy, cheap personality to get into play. And it is just a samurai. It's not a Shigenja, but that's fine. The 3 chi makes it potential for a duel. Nothing great, but easy honor. Shiba Sakun, a 3/2 for 5. That's a pretty good rate, and it is a samurai. Reaction gains a 3 chi bonus until the end of the turn when entering a duel with a Shigenja. So very cool ability, because that's another 5 chi, and we have 3 copies, and that is that's the personalities. So now this is a unique fortification. No, a unique holding. Sorry. Grove of the 5 Masters. Limited. Bow to get any 1 Kiho from your deck. Show it to the other players and place it in your hand. Discard 1 card from your Fate hand. So it's good. If you want a Kiho for some reason, I can get it. I have several in the deck. I forget exactly how many. So obviously just 1 copy. Running 3 Jadeworks, since it costs 3 and the house generates 3 gold. This way I get some good gold generation along with my little gold generation, the little stuff that's fast. Small farms for free to generate 1 gold, and large farms that produce 2 gold, and it only costs 1. So the small farm you tend to have the small farm pay for the large farm. And that's usually how it works. And then, of course, 3 Silvermine in every Phoenix deck. You're going to run 3 of the Silvermine. It produces 2 gold, but 3 if you're Phoenix. And every clan has their own holding like that. This card I really like. This is a retainer for 3. Reaction, bow when one of your personalities wins a duel to gain 2 honor. So it really is made for this deck, a dueling honor deck. This should be in my other Phoenix deck too. I don't even know if it is. I don't remember. This is a very cool region though. I've got 2 regions, I think, in this deck. 2 or 3. Unique. Battle. Bow one of your defending units. The attacker must bow 2 attacking personalities or followers. You may perform this action twice per battle. So that's a lot. That seems very, well, it seems pretty powerful. It seems like a really good holding to play for defensive purposes. I've got to stop the military decks from destroying my provinces. That's kind of necessary. Mystic Ground. You must bow a monk or Shigenja to bring this region into play. So you might not get it in play if it comes up on turn 1. You might not be able to. Reaction. When this province is about to be destroyed, destroy this region instead. That's great, because it means I got to destroy it twice to destroy it. So as far as I'm concerned, that's a really good region for this deck. Then we've got some events, 6 of them in this deck. Blessings of Isawa. The next Kiho performed is attached permanently to the personality performing it and becomes an ability of that personality. The personality cannot use the ability more than once per turn. That seems like a really good event. So I don't remember playing it. I remember the card. I remember seeing it, but I don't remember if it played well for me or if it even came up. I just don't recall. Evil feeds upon itself. Anytime you're running an honor deck, you tend to put this in your deck. The player or players with the lowest family honor lose their rightmost province. It is destroyed. Occult Murders, not sure about this one, maybe. Each player selects one personality or retainer controlled by the player to his right. All selected personalities or retainers are destroyed. So the idea here is I'm hoping that I can take out something that's more powerful than I'll lose something that's less powerful than what they're going to lose, because you select which one. Oh no, you select it from the player to his right. I misread that. Okay. So I'm hoping that I can take out a more powerful personality than they'll take out of mine. That's obviously the thing I'm hoping to do there. Certainly don't want Nakakuru in play when this comes up. That would not be good for me. And then this card is very cool. Awesome looking card. Plague. All followers in play with 3F or less are destroyed. So unless you've got a force follower or more, they die. Nasty, nasty plague. This is an odd card. At least I think it's kind of odd, but it sounds very cool. A Soul of Thunder. Select one of your personalities. If this personality is alive and under your control at the beginning of your next turn, you gain 7 honor. So that's awesome. There's just one problem. As a limited action, any personality may challenge this personality to a duel that cannot be refused. There is no limit to the number of challenges that can be made in this fashion, and they may be made until the end of the game. So even if you get your 7 honor, but once you get your 7 honor, you probably don't care if your personality gets killed. But he's got to stay alive and under my control until the beginning of my next turn. So it might do nothing. So it's a tricky one. But at least I get to select which personality I'm willing to see if they can survive it. And then lastly, we have Test of Stone. Select your unbowed challenger and a personality controlled by another player to be challenged for a duel that cannot be declined. Shouldn't that say to a duel instead of for a duel? I don't know. The winner's controller gains 4 honor, and the losing personality is dishonored. Neither personality dies as a result of the duel. So that seems like a very cool card. Certainly belongs in a dueling deck, I would think. But now, every card in this deck, and I don't have focus in here, every card, though, is a dueling card in one sense or another. We start with this really good card, Bend Like a Reed. Reaction. Play this card when your opponent calls a strike in a duel. You gain 2 chi from this card as if it were played as a focus. You may not play more than 1 Bend Like a Reed in a duel. So the moment they say strike, you're like, well, I'm going to get two more chi, which means I might have just wrecked their day. It gives you a really good chance to win. Double chi is just, for me, it's a no-brainer. Kiho reaction, bow one of your Shigenja or monks when a personality you control is entering the duel to give that personality the trait double chi until the end of the duel. I don't know if it's possible. I guess it's possible to beat a personality with double chi, but I would think it's very difficult. Double chi doubles the focus value every time you focus, so that 3 is now a 6. That just seems insane to me. So 2 copies of double chi. I like this card. Facing Your Devils. Kiho Open. Bow a Shigenja or monk you control to have him or her issue a challenge to any personality in play. And I say I really like this card because I've already read through these cards before I made this video, so I already pretty much know what they say. The challenged personality may refuse by discarding cards from his hand with a combined focus value greater than the chi of your personality. So they can refuse the duel only by discarding a certain number of cards. So Facing Your Devils, I've got 3 copies. I would take these out for focus. Maybe those are the 3 I'd take out. Geisha Assassin is very cool. I think I have 1 copy in my Phoenix dueling deck. The asterisk is a variable cost. Limited, issue a challenge to any personality controlled by another player. Geisha is your challenger. This challenge cannot be refused. Geisha may not focus. Geisha has a chi equal to half the gold spent to perform this action rounded down. So this is not easy. If I spend 10, my Geisha Assassin has a chi of 5 and I can't focus. So all they have to do is their chi plus their focus has to be 5 or more. I believe in a tie, both personalities die. Someone just told me that. I was chatting with someone from one of the Facebook pages, and I believe he said they both die in a tie, unless you have an effect or the personality has an ability or something. But this is hard. You really need a lot of gold to make it work, I think. Still cool card, though. All right, so the two most basic cards for dueling are Ijatsu Challenge and Ijatsu Duel. Ijatsu Challenge cannot be performed in a battle. It's performed as a limited action, which means on your turn only, choose your unbowed challenger and a personality controlled by another player to be challenged. The winner gains 5 honor. The challenged personality may decline the duel at the loss of 7 honor to his family and dishonoring himself, and the loser dies. So Ijatsu Challenge is very, very cool. And then if you're in a battle, it doesn't matter whose turn it is, I don't think. Pretty sure that's correct. I'm going from memory with this game, a lot of stuff. Target 1 attacking and 1 defending personality who begin a duel. If you control one of the selected personalities, he or she must be unbowed. Neither may refuse. The winner gains 5 family honor. So I'm assuming when they says if you control one of the selected personalities is for those games where you're playing 3 or 4 player game and you have 2 people duel each other. So you're messing with them and not yourself. I'm assuming that's the point of that. All right, show me your stance. 1 copy. This action cannot target non-human personalities. I think I understand, because a non-human personality, that doesn't mean anything to them. Battle. And by the way, I'm only holding this over here so I can see the card better on my phone. And I am also trying to avoid the glare. That's why I'm turning it the way I'm turning it. All right. An unbowed personality you control issues an unrefusable challenge to an opposing personality. This duel compares personal honor instead of chi, but is otherwise treated normally. The winner of this duel gains 2 honor. The loser is not destroyed, but is dishonored and sent home bowed. So potentially a very good card. It just depends. All right, stand or run. That's I love that name of that one too. Show me your stance, stand or run. These are cool. Battle. One of your unbowed samurai issues a challenge to an opposing personality. If the challenge is refused, the opponent is sent home bowed. A bowed personality may not refuse this challenge. So if they're already bowed, they have to duel. Then we have strike without striking. 3 copies of strike without striking. Reaction. Play this card immediately after the resolution of a duel that one of your personalities participated in. Put any 2 cards you focused with back into your hand instead of discarding them. That's really, really cool. I really like the effect. So you're dueling, but you're not actually using the card to duel. It's a strike without striking. It's a neat idea. And I don't know if I should have cards in here that aren't dueling effects, like block supply lines and trapping terrain, things like that. This is just everything's a duel. Everything's a dueling card. And I don't know if that's a good idea, bad idea, or it's fine. I'm really not sure. Strike with no thought. Reaction. Play this card immediately before you declare a strike in a duel. You still gain the chi bonus for this card as if it were used as a focus. Only 1 strike with no thought can be played in a duel. So you will add this focus value of 2 to the duel regardless, which is great. So you say you're striking, and yet you still get to add 2. 2 copies. Then we have Void Strike. I have 2 copies, one of the old look and one of the new look. Now it's interesting. I can make the case if I was trying to defend the new look that that's easier to read. Notice that it's cleaner, it's clearer. This is cleaner. These are all bigger. See how they're easier to read. I still prefer the style of the old so much better. My question is, why is the art more colored in here? Why is it more faded here? Was this purposely done this way, or is it that they said, hey, this will look better if we do it like this? Because on first glance, this one looks better. So I'm wondering why this one is faded out. Is it because of the card Void Strike that they are drawn the way they are, or I should say painted the way they are? Kiho Reaction. Bow one of your Shigenja or monks when a personality you control has entered a duel, but before the first focus. Draw your top fate card and add the focus value of that card to your personality's chi. For the remainder of the duel, the card drawn is not considered a focus. That seems like a really powerful card. But I'm just curious about the whole change in the how they look. What was going on there? All right. So this is the other reason I made this other dueling deck is because of these cards. The first shout, the second shout, and the third shout. So the first shout says you may have up to 10 copies of this card in your deck. Right now there are 6 in the deck. You may play this card face up as a focus in a duel, but it's only a 1, so that's bad. Your opponent must focus again if able, and his focus card is selected randomly from his fate hand. So that's kind of neat. It could be bad, but yours is bad regardless. But you can also use this in battle. Target personality gets a 1F bonus. Again, that's not very good either. But at least you have the option if no duel is happening. So those 6 copies. Oh, is it 7? Did I miscount? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, I didn't miscount. All right. The second shout. You may only target or focus for a personality that has performed the first shout this turn. So you can't play this unless you played the first shout. You may play this card face up as a focus in a duel, and now it's a 2, where the first shout was a 1. Okay, you in a duel to destroy the most recent card your opponent has played as a focus in this duel. Your personality gains chi normally from this card. Battle. Target personality gains a 2F1 chi bonus until the end of the turn. So it's better than the first shout in several ways. So very cool. There are only 3 copies of that because that's the most you can play. And then here's the third shout. So now the focus value jumps to a 4. That's the first thing that stands out to me. You may only target or focus for a personality that has performed the second shout this turn. You may play this card face up as a focus in a duel. Destroy any one card that your opponent has played as a focus in this duel. Your personality gains chi normally, and they're gaining 4. Battle. Or you can do this in a battle instead. Target personality gains a 5 force 3 chi bonus until the end of the turn. If you don't have the first or second shout in your hand, you could just do that. And maybe you've got Nijatsu Duel or something that you can now duel, and you've given them this huge bonus. So you can't play the third unless you've played the second, and you can't play the second unless you've played the first. So it makes it a little difficult to make this work. So we're going to play 1 card, and maybe I should play 3 copies of this card to make it better. I'm going to put 3 blood swords in the deck because they seem like this is the deck. This is the kind of deck you should use blood swords. Gains a 2F2 chi token each time this personality wins a duel. It just seems like the right card. But I'm playing 1 Walking the Way, which can get me any card in my deck. Bow the Shigenja to look through your fate deck, draw a card, and draw any 1 card, and then reshuffle the deck. So if I have this 2 of the shouts, this can get the third one. Maybe I should run 3 copies of that and take out some other cards. And lastly, I think you have to play Ring of the Void in a dueling deck. For one thing, dueling is a way that will make you run out of cards. You can run out of cards easily, and this will solve that problem. The 4 focus, of course, means if nothing else, you just focus it if you're not going to be running out of cards. And it works really, really well in a duel regardless. But ideally, you want to get this into play. It just really... I think it just makes the deck play much, much better. So that is my last L5R constructed deck to show you. Like I said, maybe I'll make a video showing you a video or videos, possibly, showing you some of my loose cards in my collection, if I think there's enough interesting cards that you might like to see. Other than that, I hope you check out my Wyvern videos. There were other things that I wanted to talk about too. That's all right. I get lost in thought here. I'm doing multiple things. So hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll be back with another video fairly soon. Bye-bye.